Well, good morning. Here's the morning update on the list of the burner tube. There's actually two issues. I told you I thought I figured out the way to prevent the list, and I'll show you what that was. Um, there's that single bolt that holds the burner tube in place. And what was going on was, let me get this out of here. Once again, I should have set up my camera stand. Hang on. This bolt would go through the hole in the burner assembly that was originally meant for the valve to come through on the other assembly. And that bolt would go into this hole in the top of the font. And as you tightened it down, it would come through this spot on the burner cage, and you could tighten it down to the point where it would pull the burner cage down. So what I ended up doing, this is what I thought of this morning when I woke up. I made a stop that the bolt would go through so it could only come down, only pull the cage down so far. That would keep the cage from getting dented. And that worked really good, and I put it in and it prevented the cage from getting that dent I talked about. But the burner mast was still tilted. I thought, what the heck? So I did some more checking out. I took the stop out and I put the bolt in the font. Hang on here. And I eyeballed it, and the bolt was actually tilted over. The spot where it was in the font was actually bent, and that's why everything was tilted that way. So I held my breath, I put a big wrench on it, I prayed a little bit that I wouldn't wreck the font, and I pulled it back up. The nice thing about brass fonts is you have a certain amount of flexibility in the bung area. So I was able to straighten that up and got that back into the correct position so that when I put the stop in to keep it from getting torqued down too far, put this in and tightened everything up, it was nice and straight. Now the other issue we have is that the stud for the nut is too short. So what my next project here is, I'm going to try to unscrew the stud. And typically on this, about half the time you can unscrew them, and the other half of the time they just snap off at the manifold. If I can unscrew it, what I'll do is I'll just put one in from another lantern that's a little bit longer so we can put the nut on. If it snaps off, plan B is I'll tap it out, and then I'll just put in a piece of 1/4-20 threaded rod that's longer. This is standard 1/4-20 thread. And that way you'll be able to use the original nut on it. So either way, I can extend that so we can put the nut on the top of that without crushing it. So that's where we're at this morning. This is about an hour and a half, 2 hours or more farting around with it, but we're going to get it done. All right, that's it. You have a good day. Bye.